Many countries have powerful songs that aren't their official anthems. These are the 10 patriotic favorites, often called unofficial national anthems, and people know and love them just as much. Number 1. America the Beautiful. High in the sky, from the top of a mountain, came one of America's most loved songs. Back in 1893, a woman named Catherine Lee Bates took a long train ride to Colorado. She was a teacher and poet. When she reached Pikes Peak, she looked out at the wide lands, tall mountains, and golden fields. That beautiful view filled her heart with strong feelings. Later that day in her hotel room, she wrote a poem. Later on, a man named Samuel A. Ward, a church organist in New Jersey, wrote a tune. He was riding a ferry from Coney Island when the music popped into his head. Though Bates and Ward never met, their work came together. In 1910, her poem and his music formed America the Beautiful. Line by line, the song honors the land, its beauty, and the people who gave their lives for it. With words like purple mountain majesties and amber waves of grain, it paints a picture of pride and peace. Still today, this song is sung with deep love at big American events. Number 2, God Bless America. One cold night in 1938, a powerful voice filled the airwaves across America. It was Kate Smith singing God Bless America. But the story started years earlier. Irving Berlin, a poor boy from Russia, had come to America with his family after their home was destroyed. Growing up on the streets of New York, he sold newspapers and sang in bars. Slowly but surely, he taught himself music and became a famous songwriter. Back in 1918, while serving in the Army, Berlin wrote a song called God Bless America for a show at his base, but he thought it sounded too soft and tucked it away. Years later, when Kate Smith asked for a new song, Berlin found it again. Just in time, he rewrote the words. Right after she sang it on the radio, phones rang nonstop. People loved the way it honored the land, from mountains to oceans, and gave thanks for home. With gentle changes, like removing war words, it became a peaceful prayer. Number 3, This Land Is Your Land. Everywhere Woody Guthrie went, one song followed him, God Bless America. But in 1940, Guthrie had had enough. He thought that song didn't speak for the poor and the working people he met while traveling across America during the Great Depression. So he grabbed his guitar and wrote a new song that told a different story. He called it This Land Is Your Land. At first, Guthrie named it God Blessed America for Me. But soon he changed the title and the final line of each verse to the now famous words, This land was made for you and me. His song painted pictures of America's wide open lands from California to New York, from redwood forests to ocean waves. Slowly, Guthrie added more verses, even ones that questioned unfair signs and hungry crowds in cities. As time passed, some verses were taken out to make the song easier to sing everywhere. Still, singers like Bruce Springsteen later brought back Guthrie's full version. Thanks to Woody Guthrie's powerful voice and guitar, this song still reminds people what America can be for everyone. Number 4, My Country, 'Tis of Thee. Long ago, a young man named Samuel Francis Smith was given a book of songs from Germany. While studying at a school for pastors in 1831, he found a melody he liked. Without knowing it was from the British song God Save the King, he wrote new words to honor America. He called it My Country, 'Tis of Thee. While this simple song grew into a favorite, Smith's words talked about freedom, pride, and love for the land. It was first sung on July 4th, 1831, by children in Boston. Over time, it became one of the most sung patriotic songs in schools and events. Now let's go back even more. That same melody had traveled far. It was used in songs from England, Denmark, Prussia, and even Liechtenstein. No one is sure who wrote the original tune, but it was printed in 1744 in England. As years passed, this melody crossed oceans and changed names. But Smith's version became special in America. Later, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. used these words in his famous I Have a Dream speech, calling Let Freedom Ring. Number 5, The Battle Hymn of the Republic. When America was split in two, a new song rose from the battlefields. In 1861, a woman named Julia Ward Howe visited Washington, D.C., and heard soldiers singing John Brown's Body. A preacher nearby told her the tune needed better words. That night, Howe woke up early and wrote powerful lyrics in the dark. Soon after, her poem was sold for $5 and became the Battle Hymn of the Republic. The music came from an old church song, but Howe's new words were about justice and freedom. One line said, "Let us die to make men free," showing her wish to end slavery. However, the song spread through the Union Army during the Civil War. Soldiers sang it while marching. It gave hope to many, especially former slaves, who gained freedom. Later on, this song became a symbol of the fight for equality. Even though it made many in the South angry, the words meant strength to those who wanted change. Through battles and beyond, the song's truth kept marching on, just like Howe had written in her famous chorus. Number 6. The Stars and Stripes Forever. Nothing makes a crowd cheer like the sound of The Stars and Stripes Forever. Back in 1896, John Philip Sousa came up with the tune while sailing home from Europe. His friend had just passed away, and as he walked the ship's deck, the music played over and over in his mind. When he got back to land, he quickly wrote it all down. The song became full of energy, with trumpets, drums, and the famous piccolo. Years later, in 1987, Congress made it the official national march of the United States. Over the years, it was played at big parades, the 4th of July, and even at the president's events. Along the way, Sousa also added powerful words about freedom and flags. He always wore a fancy uniform and led his band with pride. Even people in other countries have used the melody at sports games, making it a sound that truly travels far. Number 7. Yankee Doodle. British soldiers once laughed as they marched through American towns, singing Yankee Doodle to mock the colonists. Back in 1755, a British doctor named Richard Shuckburgh added funny lyrics to the old tune to call Americans silly and rude. But things quickly changed. Then after many years during the start of the American Revolution in 1775, British troops played that same song to tease the Minutemen at Lexington. But after the battle, as the British marched back in defeat, Americans flipped the joke singing Yankee Doodle with pride. As the war continued, the song became a favorite among the new American army. At the final big battle in Yorktown in 1781, some said the Americans sang it again as the British gave up. Through the years, new verses were added. One fun line about a feather and macaroni came in 1842, long after George Washington had already made it cool. Today, Yankee Doodle lives on as a bold American tune. Number 8. Copland's Fanfare for the Common Man. When the trumpets blast and drums roll, fanfare for the common man feels like something big is coming. Back in 1942, composer Aaron Copland wrote this bold piece during World War II. At first, he tried different names like Fanfare for Our Heroes, but then picked one that honored everyday people. The song starts with powerful drums, then brass instruments join in. Gradually, the music grows louder and stronger. The idea came from conductor Eugene Goosens, who wanted short patriotic songs for concerts. Since then, it's been played on TV, at big events, and even rocked by famous bands. Number 9. When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Soldiers singing while marching home. That's how When Johnny Comes Marching Home became a Civil War favorite. Let's have a quick view on its origin. In 1863, Patrick Gilmore wrote the song, but used the fake name Louis Lambert. He wanted to honor soldiers returning from war. Step by step, this tune became part of history, even though people argued about who really made it. Some thought it was Irish or African American, but Gilmore's name stuck. Later, his giant peace concert in Boston had thousands of singers and musicians, but this song wasn't played there. Still, it stayed famous and even made its way into big Hollywood movies. Number 10. Anchors Aweigh. Anchors Aweigh began its journey in 1906. Charles A. Zimmerman, Navy's bandleader, wrote the music. Midshipman Alfred Miles added the lyrics. They wanted a song to cheer on their class during football games. The best part, it became the Navy's favorite tune. After Navy beat Army 10-0, the song became a big hit. As years went by, new verses were added. Even today, it plays at Navy events all over the world. Zimmerman, called Zimmy, led the band with pride, and his song still brings strong, happy feelings to everyone who hears it. That's all for today. If you felt the pride and power in these songs, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.